This call is being recorded.
Okay. Okay, so we are going to talk about healing with heart frequency. And it's just been the most amazing thing that I have found. And that's why I want to teach it to people because it's just done so many things for me and for people that I work on that it just has to get out there more. So, what it is, it's working with an energy from the heart, sending energy from your heart. And I'm going to teach you how to do it. And I'm going to do an activation. And what I've seen it do, just so many different things. Heal the inside of somebody's knees, heal knee pain, clear inflammation out of the body, um, clear virus out of the blood. It's just able to do so many amazing things. It's just been incredible. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. I've also used it to I sprained my toe one time really, really bad, and I'm sure I would have been not able to walk for I don't know how long, but I ran the frequency into my toe, and by the next morning, it was basically no pain, and I was able to walk. And I'm sure it wouldn't have been like that if I hadn't have had this frequency to be able to use on it. So that's just one of the things among many other ones. The other one that I want to quickly share about, which is just as powerful, is the breathing technique where you breathe energy in from the earth, up through your feet, up your legs, all the way up the length of your body to the top of your head, and then out your arms and out your hands and into your body. That one is amazing as well. And it's from what's called quantum touch healing. You can look that up online if you want to. And I'm going to send out a video that's a really good training video where you can learn how to do this breathing technique. So if you're struggling with chronic fatigue and you're feeling tired, you can learn what's called fire breathing, which some of you might know through yoga or something, but it's an amazing technique to get your energy back and to get oxygen into your body because most of us don't breathe properly. We're not breathing deep enough, we're breathing shallow, and when we sit around too much and we're not breathing deeply, we end up with no energy. So that's a really great one. And that one also, so when you put your hands onto your body and then do the breath from the earth into your feet, up the length of your body, and then down your arms and out your hands into your body, you're basically taking energy from the earth, bringing it through the whole length of your body, and then out your arms and out your hands. And when you do that, you're channeling earth energy into your body. It takes away pain. It gets energy moving in your body. And pain and illness is quite often stuck energy and stuck emotions, stuck trauma. It can also be negative beliefs. And illness is always a messenger as well. There's a message there for you, something you need to learn about loving yourself, taking care of yourself, looking after your body, maybe changing how you eat. There's always a reason why something's come forward or why somebody gets a specific illness. So if somebody has chronic fatigue syndrome, something like that starting to develop in their body, it's usually related to they've given away their power. They're usually addicted to sugar. They have to change their diet, that kind of thing. So that's just kind of a little bit of an aside. But so this quantum touch breathing technique, I'm going to send out the video, and he teaches in the video two or three different breaths, two or three different kinds of energy healing with breathing and different ways. If it's too complicated, just the first one is really good. You can do the first one and you can just leave the others. The one where he teaches the fire breathing and the breathing from the earth. Okay, so I'm just going to. All right, so that's just a little bit about that. So I'm going to do the heart activation. Just going to check my phone here and see everything looks like it's working properly. It's a bit different when you work by phone, by conference call, than live because you can't see the people. And You want to make sure that everything is still kind of working, but everybody's muted and you should be able to hear me and it's recording. So looks like we're okay. Okay, so, and then off and on, I will just unmute the phone and you'll be able to answer or ask questions, and then I'll be able to answer your questions. So I'm just looking at my notes here to see what I want to start with first. So let's do the heart activation. So this is something that you don't really need to have. You actually already have the ability to connect to this healing frequency. It is a frequency that comes through the heart. And the way I understand it, at least the way it was explained to me from my spirit guides, is that when I'm bringing it through, it's a frequency coming from the 12th dimension. It's a very high dimension, and it's coming through from my higher self, through my heart. And the frequency is going in and it's affecting the person's body that I'm sending it to. And it's creating a support for the body to begin to heal itself. But it's like nothing I've ever seen before. It's very effective. It's very powerful. Um, it works not only on physical pain and problems, but also emotional problems, depression. I'm also able to bring through information about the person, like do a reading with running that frequency as well. There's many different things that you can use while running this frequency. You can use it on yourself, you can use it on other people, you can use it anywhere on your body. And what I like to do is to run it to the root cause of the problem. And then it automatically will go into the body and start to begin the healing. Now, I also do Reiki and I do reconnective healing and I do other kinds of energy work. But this one is different. I have to say this one is um, more effective almost. It's very it can heal very specific problems is what I've seen. Some things take more than one session. Some things are done in one session. A lot can get done in one session depending what the problem is, but certain things will take a series of sessions to get all of it out of the body. I've seen it clear out bacteria and candida and yeast. So you can go in, you can clean out your own blood, you can do all of these things with it. This is what I've experienced, and so this is what I use mostly now all the time when I work with clients and I work by phone. So why don't you get comfortable, and you can close your eyes if you want to and get in a nice relaxed position. And I'm going to start to connect with the energy. Just gonna check my phone here. Okay, I'm gonna put my phone down. So I'm just gonna start to connect with the group and connect with the energy of the group. So it's take me a couple minutes to connect. I also work with archangels and masters, and I've called them in, so they're also going to work with us. We'll also call in your own guides and angels, your own higher self, which we all have one, so that you're able to receive this activation and also a healing, a group healing we're going to do. All right, so as I connect to the group, I'm seeing your third eyes. So this is where the frequency is going to start in your third eye area. So your chakra that's in the center of your forehead there. All right, so we're going to get the energy, the heart frequency there flowing. It's going to activate your third eye. Wow, so I see blue, I see green, and I feel just like an intense energy flowing. So that really is working in your third eye to activate it. I'm seeing the figure 8, so the entire group will get this activation so that you're able to access this frequency and also receive a healing at the same time. So I'll just see what this energy is going to do during the activation here. Okay, so my guidance is asking me to tell you to just, if you want to just put your palms in your lap face up, then that would help with you being able to receive the activation and also to get the energy flowing and to release any trapped energies in your body and also any beliefs around maybe not being able to use the energy or not know how or anything like that. It's working with your mental body as well, I can see. So working with your mental and your thoughts and your mind. This will also work on the replay too. So anybody that, there's a few people that couldn't make the live call, they'll be hearing this on the replay. That frequency, there is no time or space. It will just be working as you listen. You can also listen again and you'll get more healing. So let me just watch here to see what else. Okay, so it's moving down into your throat chakra. So it now needs to do an activation and a clearing in your throat. So I'm just hearing like the words letting go. So just as this frequency is coming through you, just focus on letting go any blocked energies, old energies, stuff that you might have been holding on to for a very long time. This activation is also going to raise your frequency, I'm being told. It's going to raise, you're going to be vibrating on a different frequency that you haven't been vibrating on before. So a higher frequency. Oh, I'll say that in a minute. I'm just getting the guidance to just wait. Okay, so it's connecting your throat chakra to your third eye so that you can speak and trust what you see and what you get when you're running frequency, when you're running it on yourself or you're running it on other people. So it's just making a connection there, and I'm seeing like a pathway of a clearing of light connecting those two areas. It's also working a little bit in the brain. Okay, so we've got the brain and the third eye and the throat chakra. So when the frequency is running, there's usually a really calm, you usually feel very calm, very relaxed. You might feel tingling. Now let's see what else the frequency is doing for this activation. Still working in the throat. Okay, so now it is moving down into the heart. I see like a little explosion of light, kind of like fireworks. I just saw this explosion, starburst of light activating in the heart. I'm just getting flashes of images of blockages that different people have. Some of these, they look like past life that are clearing out because sometimes we carry fears and traumas and things from other lives that block us and block our psychic abilities to connect to, abilities that we have inside because of fear. And so it looks like it's clearing on the subconscious, past lives. It's just clearing traumas. It's clearing on a whole bunch of different levels so that you are able to access this frequency. So just imagine at this time that the frequency is flushing through your body, and it's flushing through from head to toe. And you're going to imagine the bottom of your feet opening, and you're going to let go all the dirty energy, the old blocked energy, what looks kind of like dark energy. It's just going to move out the bottom of your feet. Just open the bottom of your feet and let it flow out. So you're having a clearing and a healing and an activating. Okay, so I'm just getting the words to tell you that if you feel any kind of fear or anxiety, to just let it be there and then just release it. You might be triggered a little bit because this will take you to a higher level of being, even just being in the world. It will take you to a higher level. It will take you to a different way of being. And sometimes when we shift to a higher level, it can bring up some anxiety. So that might just pop up and then just let it go out. Okay, so the healing is just going through the nervous system. I can see it going through the nerves, through the pathways in the body, just cleaning out and kind of doing a connection, connecting and opening pathways where there might be blocked energy. That's what it looks like it's doing. So this will help you with your circulation, help to release pain, hopefully. Okay, so I'm just going to ask if the activation is complete. I think it might be. Yep, it's done. Okay. All right, so that part is done. And now, okay, so now that I've done that, I want to do a little bit more of a group healing. So now that you're activated, I'm going to just run the frequency to everyone on the call and everyone that will listen to it on the replay. And I'm going to send it with the intention that you're going to receive it. I'm going to send it to your entire body and just receive it where your body needs it. Just I'm intending to send it to the root cause of the main issue that you need healed at this time. Whether it's a mental problem or depression or some kind of addiction or problem with food or anxiety or some physical pain, whatever that is, I'm just going to send the heart frequency to the root cause to everyone that's listening so that you can see what it feels like. Well, you probably have already been feeling what it feels like just with the activation. But now we'll just do a little bit of an overall group healing. So just relax with your eyes closed and receive. Okay, so what I'm sensing as I'm doing this, for some people, there's some real stuck energy in their body, and there's a real pushing. There's a pushing going on with the frequency that's just going to push out or work through and unclog blocked energy. So that's what it's doing. And then you might notice that when you use this frequency, you might start to yawn. That's just the way it works through my body. Yawning is a reset. It resets and it clears, or clears and resets the body. And it's working through me and then flowing to you. And then I'm also receiving healing. So remember, you can send it to anywhere in your body, your organs, your systems, your blood, your bones, your joints, to your mental, to, for emotional issues. You can use it for so many different things. So let's just let that run for a little bit more. It's doing a good job because I can feel it working. I can see light kind of flowing. So when you use this energy, you may see different colors. You might see light. Purple is really common. Quite often I see green, white. You get tingling in your body. I'm just going to tune in to see if I should move on to the next part. Yes, okay. Just gonna check my phone and make sure it looks like everyone is still on here. Looking okay. Yep, okay. All right, so now that's probably gonna still keep working on you for a while. It's really, really powerful energy and it just keeps flowing. It's gonna keep flowing for a while. I don't know exactly how long, but I know that it keeps going for a while. So we did your heart activation and we did the group healing to the root cause. And now I'm going to share a little bit about, well, let me just check in here. Yeah, now I'm going to continue on. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the frequency and what else you can do with it. Okay, so we talked about the root cause. It can also move bones really easily. So, yeah, so if your back or something goes out, you could actually run the heart frequency into your own body and it will automatically balance. It will give you a chiropractic adjustment. That's one of the easier things that I find that it can do. It's easier because you're not dealing with um, usually a whole bunch of multiple things or emotional issues that can sometimes take longer when you're dealing with, say, cancer or something where there's a lot of emotional root cause issues with someone that has cancer, and you need to get to the root cause of why that person created that illness. And that is always the case, that the person has always created their situation. And it's not anything to do with blame, it's to do with what's going on inside of them emotionally. And that illness has come forward to teach them about what they have inside of them that they haven't dealt with. And it's the same with weight loss or alcoholism or any other kind of imbalance or illness. It's getting to the root cause of why that's there. And you can use the frequency and run it on yourself to put yourself into a healing and also into a type of meditation where your stress will release. You can use it to put yourself to sleep. If you can't sleep, you're having trouble sleeping, I use it pretty much every night to help me sleep. Or if I wake up and I can't get back to sleep, I will start running it into my body uh, where I might have some pain or and so that brings me up to a good point is, and I'm going to show you more exactly how it feels and what to do and how to run it in just a second. But what was I going to say? So when you run it into yourself, into your own body, when you get a place where it needs healing, that's where you will feel the most activity going on. You'll feel tingling, you'll feel really relaxed, you'll feel you'll just feel something happening in yourself. You're going to feel activity there. You're going to feel um, the pain probably will start to go away. Sometimes pain will get worse, and that's never a bad thing. It just means that it it is working with it, and sometimes it needs to get a little bit better while it's pulling out stuff and while it's creating the healing. So it might get worse. It probably will get, eventually it will get better. It will go away after that. Worse, better, or if the pain moves to a different location, all of those things are a good sign. And what it's doing is it's moving it, it's healing it, and it's moving it out of the body. So you will feel, you can feel tingling, you can feel movement, and like a deep relaxation. And then if you move your focus and start running the frequency to a different part of your body where there is no problem. For example, there's nothing wrong with that body part. It doesn't need any healing. You won't feel anything. It'll just be like nothing will occur. And so then that's what you can do is just start running it to all the different parts of your body, um, just for practice to see. And then you're going to start to notice the subtle difference of what it feels like when you're connected to your liver as compared to connected to your head. Say you have a headache or some other organ, you're just going to notice that each part feels different. You're going to become more and more sensitive to be able to sense things. You can balance your own hormones, your endocrine system, clear out inflammation out of your body, bacteria out of your system. You can check your blood regularly for any viruses, bacteria. You can clear out environmental toxins out of your blood. You can do all of these things and even more, whatever you can probably even think of, you can do. Okay, so we talked about kind of what it feels like. All right, let's see here. You can use it to help you sleep, clear pain. You can do a session for someone with someone else as a surrogate. You don't really need that person actually. You could just do it remotely on the person directly without them even knowing. But if you're going to do that, you want to send the healing with the intention that it's received by their free will. Because everyone has free will, and some people don't want to be healed, or it might be their time to go, or yeah, they're just not ready. They're not ready for healing. So then you send it with that intention. So it can be rejected then if that person doesn't want it, if you aren't able to ask them. But what you can do also is work with someone else, a friend, together, the two of you, and one of you sends the frequency to the person that wants the healing, and the surrogate person kind of helps you hold the energy. So they could also send heart frequency at the same time too. You can both be doing it. You can kind of work with in a pair, which I find helps a lot because it kind of helps to strengthen the energy, and it also helps keep you grounded and balanced a little bit more sometimes when you have a second person working with you. So I've done that um, before, working with other people, working with one other person on someone. Okay, so I think I'm going to just unmute the line just to see if there might be any questions. So does anyone have any questions right now about
Yes,
the frequency?
yes, Annette. I have a question, and this is Gurjeet. I was wondering, how do you run the frequency? We're not sure about that.
Yeah, I was just about to get right to that next. So
Okay.
I'll explain how to do that right now. Does anybody else have any other questions about anything I've talked about, the energy or?
Yeah,
I have a
Jerry here.
question.
Okay, go ahead, Jerry.
Okay, when you were doing the activation, I feel a pain on my left neck, left side of my neck. I didn't have pain before, and it was like a japping pain, and it lasts for about 5 minutes or so, but now it's gone. I don't know
Yeah.
why I have it on my left side. I didn't have pain before.
Yeah, so that's good. So most likely that was just clearing out a blockage. So that's what I was
Okay.
saying, how the pain can sometimes, there can be pain, sometimes pain can get worse or better, or if pain moves. All three of those are good because it's always doing what's best for your body. So you had some kind of a blockage there and it cleared it out for you.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
great. Anybody else have a sharing about the activation or any other questions?
Hi, it's Linda. I do.
Hi, Linda.
I just want to say hi. When you were, I could feel when you were saying connect like your brain and your third eye to your throat.
Get Dale to drive the truck to take Sean and Kai home because
Oh,
Dad.
Jerry. Oh, do you want to mute your line, Jerry?
Oh, sorry.
There's background noise. Yeah.
How do I do that?
Do you have a mute button on your phone?
I can't see any.
Okay. That's okay.
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead, Linda.
Okay, so I could feel like I don't even know if a string or a connection between the two. And then when you said go down into your heart, I had a pain in the front of my heart. And then it was like all of a sudden it was just like I don't even know how to explain it, like it sort of shot through to the back of my back and went across my shoulders, down my spine, into my stomach. I had like a funny feeling in my belly button, and then
Mm-hmm.
it just felt like a pop, and it everything opened up, and I did see purple and I saw green.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah, it
That's so
feels good.
exciting. Yeah,
Mhm.
I love it. That's so good. I'm glad you shared that with everybody because it's good to hear what other people experience.
Yeah, and it
Any,
just felt like I
yeah,
had pain across my back before, and when it kind of shot through and went across my shoulders and down my spine into my belly button, it was like then it went down my legs and out. Like it was very
nice.
interesting. lots of purple and green I saw.
That's really great.
Hmm.
Okay, anybody else? No?
Hi, Annette. I'd like to share, Gurjeet, and I saw purple colors too. Very, like, it was so obvious, the purple. It was just purple.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, I always love it when I see purple. It means there's a really good healing going on.
Hmm.
That's great. Okay, any other questions before we move on to more about how to use the frequency?
I just had a quick comment. It's Sylvia. I just felt a lot of pressure building up in my head when you started the activation. And I just kind of wanted to mention, I don't know how many people feel things in their bodies more, but sometimes you just need to move. I had to sort of swivel my head around and put my head side to side just to kind of dissipate the energy buildup in my head. And as soon as I moved around a bit, it sort of went away. So it
Mm,
just helps to, for some people, I suppose, to move around a little bit if you have discomfort in a certain area, or massage a certain area a little bit. I massaged
mhm.
my head a bit, and it just made it go away.
Wow, that's good. Wow, so you can see what that frequency is doing. It's actually really activating people, and it's clearing out their chakras and getting them connected so that they can access this frequency easier. So that's
Hmm.
great. Okay. Anybody else? No? Okay. Okay. So then, all right. We'll move into more on how to use the frequency. And I guess I'll just mute the lines again for now, and I can always unmute it again if anybody has any questions. Okay. So, right. So the way I get prepared to do a session, I actually do, so this is just something, well, this is something that you can do daily. This is something that you can use to help you raise your frequency. So what happens if we're depressed or we don't feel well, our frequency starts to go down. And the frequency is, uh, it's based on our emotions and our feelings. What's going on inside of us will affect our frequency. It's kind of basically the energy that we are running on in our body. Now, the higher your frequency, um, that means you're likely feeling happier. The frequency of joy, happiness, peace, those frequencies are higher than the frequencies of depression and pain and sadness and all of those. So those are lower. So if you can get your frequency up higher, you will be having a clearer mind, and you'll feel automatically more joyful, more peaceful, more connected, um, and just generally overall much better. So, what I do when I'm preparing for a session, or even just when I wake up in the morning, I use a technique where I imagine my body opening like a pipe, bottom to top. So my feet are open and the top of my head is open. And now I've connected to the earth below and to the higher realms above, the source, whatever that is for you, angels, guides, if you believe in that, which I do. And so I'm connected above and below. And then I'm going to breathe in the earth energy from the earth. I like to connect to the 5D earth. We've moved away from the 3D. We're moving into a different reality. We're moving into the higher, into the 5D earth. So I imagine connecting to 5D earth, and I breathe that energy up through my feet, in through my nose, up all the way up my body and out the top of my head, out through my mouth. You want to do several of those breaths until you feel fully grounded and present. Many people are ungrounded, especially if they're sick. They're kind of floating around all over the place, out of their body, and they're not really present. And this brings you more into your body and more present. So Just practice a couple of those breaths from the earth up through your feet, into your body, out the top of your head. So it's in through your nose and out through your mouth. So you're anchoring earth energy into your body. A quick side note, you probably already know about earthing. Sitting outside in the earth or laying on the earth will help you, first of all, heal your body and help you sleep as well. So if you're having trouble with insomnia, try and get outside when it's warm enough in some way to get onto the earth with your bare feet or lay down in the earth. So, okay, so you're connected above and below. You breathe in the earth energy, and then you go above your head. Just imagine going to the very highest frequency that you can and start to breathe in joy. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Anchor it into the cells of your body and all the way down into your hands and feet. And just keep repeating that. We won't do it for too long. I just wanted to teach you how to do this. This is an amazing breath. It will change your whole perspective. It will change your whole day. If it doesn't work right away, or if you're extremely sick or extremely tired, it's going to take longer for you to raise your frequency. But if you keep practicing with it, you're going to notice that it's going to be well worth your effort, because you will just all of a sudden be feeling really amazing, really happy, really clear in your mind. And your whole day, you'll just go through the day smiling, happy. And you'll remember, oh, it's because I raised my frequency. So we'll do a couple more breaths. Breathe in love, in through the nose, in the crown of your head, into the top of your head, into your crown, out your mouth, and anchor it. Remember to anchor it into your hands and feet, especially, and the cells of your body. So when you anchor it in, and then you can send it all the way down into the earth as well. Once you've done that, you can expand your aura until it gets bigger, 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 wider than your city, your country, and then until it's just outside the earth. You can actually have your aura that big. When you expand your aura, you're able to see things from a higher perspective. You start to see from the viewpoint of your higher self. Your higher self is that part of you that has all the answers. It knows everything that you can possibly want to know about yourself, about your life. And it takes you away from fear, worry, anxiety. It's a very good tool, way to be expanded if you have a problem in your life and you want to find the answer. You want to get connected to the earth, you want to get connected above, and you want to expand. And from that place, you can, well, I usually do this before I do sessions for people. So I get connected, I expand, then I start to run the frequency and start working with people. And and then the last step after that, after the expansion, is to just imagine going way above your head. Just imagine sending a beam of energy from your crown way above your head, until just keep going higher and higher until you feel that you've connected with what I call creator source. You might call it God, whatever your beliefs are, it doesn't really matter, but it's this infinite power, this infinite, unlimited power. And as you do that, you just keep sending up higher, higher, higher until when you connect with that, you will feel a real deep peace. You'll just feel an incredible sense of peace. In theta healing, they call that the theta level. In theta healing, if you've taken that or you've heard of it, that's the level they go to when they do their healing. So I connect myself to the creator source, theta level, if you want to call it that. And I'm connected above and below, I'm grounded, and I raise up my frequency to the level that feels right for me. And then I do my sessions from that level. And when I work from this level, it's much easier for me not to get pulled into people's dramas. People have all their different pains and their health problems and their stories, and they get really caught up in all of that. Um, and it's my job to keep my frequency higher than that so I don't get pulled into it, so that I'm able to see outside of what they're seeing. So I don't start seeing the way they see, but I can see from a higher level. And now you can also, if you're a healer, some of you might be practitioners, when you're working with people, you can teach this expansion, this connection above and below and expansion to your clients and get them in an expanded state and connected before you even start the session. And that really helps the session because then they're more connected and they're less coming from their blocked self. So that can help a lot. Okay, so that's a really good one. So if you want to do 10, 15 minutes of that breath, however long it takes, when you start feeling this peaceful joy, you've raised your frequency. So, okay, so where are we going next here? All right, so also make sure that you work on a full stomach. I did a group one time on an empty stomach, and it just takes a lot of energy and it's a high frequency. You need to be grounded and you can get really dizzy and get a really bad headache if you do that. So just make sure that you eat before you that's mostly when I'm working on clients or especially with a whole group of people to have a full stomach. When I'm working on my own body, it doesn't seem to be as much of a problem. Um, because when I'm working on people, I feel like I'm jumping almost inside their body and I feel what they feel and I can see what's going on in there and I know what's happening and I know what's wrong. So, what's amazing also about this frequency is that it not only can find what the problem is, it can heal it as well. So, it's really amazing what it can all do. Okay, so so you want to make sure that you have a full stomach. Say you're getting ready to maybe do a session on somebody. Be hydrated, have something to eat, and then get yourself grounded. And I like to call in, I work with some of the ascended masters and archangels, and they come in and they help me in the session, or like I've called them in for this call. So they also work with me and they help me. And I'm sure they're the ones that are flashing some of the information that comes through that I get for people. So I do that and I do my connection, my expansion. And then I just start to focus on my heart. I just focus on the area where I would intend my heart to be. And I start to intend to send energy or frequency from my heart. And it feels subtle, it feels maybe slightly tingly. I'm just aware of some motion or activity in that area. It's not so much the physical heart, I don't believe, but more in the center of the chest, kind of higher up, the what some spiritual people would call the high heart. I believe that's more the area where it's coming from, kind of in the center of the chest. But you just intend to send it from your heart. It doesn't really matter. It's going to work regardless. I start to feel a little bit of activity happening there. It's very subtle. It's not going to be a huge thing. Okay. And then I would just start to send it. So I'm going to send it again to the group. I'm going to send it to I'm just going to send it to your tailbone, kind of the root of your body for a second. Your tailbone and the core of your body, the pelvis maybe. Okay, so that's what I'm doing, and I'm going to try to describe to you what else you would be feeling. You'll start to go, at least this is how it is for me. I go into a very relaxed state. It's almost like a trance kind of. It's like meditative. It's very relaxing, very calming. And after a few minutes, or sometimes it's quicker, I start to get a full connection to the body. I can hear, feel, and see inside the body. I know what's going on. Um, I can feel where the body needs healing. And then just your senses just start to connect. It just starts happening. So the more you practice with it, the more that will happen for you. If you're very visual, you're probably going to be able to see easier. If you're more audio, you might hear easier. Everyone's different. Everyone is going to receive it a little bit differently. But that's really all that I'm doing. It's not more complicated than that. Um, and then I'm able to feel the energy working. I can feel in my body, I can feel tingling, energy flowing, sometimes emotions, see color, I get guidance. Um, I see different symbols that mean different things. That's like communication to me of what's going on. I get messages. I'm told, what the problem is sometimes, or what that person needs to do to fix that problem, or if they need to do something with their diet or supplement or whatever it is. And then I just basically watch and feel the energy healing the problem. So it's fairly simple. I don't work if I don't feel well, because it's not a good idea. You have to be really fully present um, and balanced and everything else. So I think that's all I can think about how to use the energy. That's really all it is. So I would recommend that you start on yourself. Just intend to activate your heart and send the energy to yourself. And you're going to feel when you get a hit. I call it a hit when you get a hit in the part of the body that needs the healing. Um, you'll feel the tingling, the energy moving, activity, um, different things happening. You'll feel really, really relaxed, deeply relaxed. That's usually a sign that it's working there. It's always working, but it's doing work on an area that needs it. And then when I move to another area where it doesn't really need it, I just don't feel really much of anything happening, nothing. Or I can scan. You can practice scanning yourself. Scan your organs. Go into your pancreas. Send energy from your heart, or frequency from your heart. And then just feel what happens. Does it feel like there's something happening in there? Do you get an impression? Connect with the consciousness or the energy of that organ. Does it feel well? Does it feel like the energy's flowing? Does it feel like that there's a problem with it? You will get better by using the frequency. So it's just a matter of practice. I'm going to open up the call again, see if there's any questions. So anyone have any questions about how to use the heart frequency or anything else?
Hi, Annette. It's Darlene.
Hi, Darlene.
I would like to hear about the expanding the aura again. I missed that part. I'm not sure how, after I've connected with heaven and earth, then how do I expand my auric field with the breath?
Okay, so it's really easy. You just intend to push it out. So you just
Okay.
make it bigger. You just keep pushing it out wider and wider until you just sort of feel or imagine and intend that it's really large.
Okay, wonderful.
And then usually when it is really large, you usually feel more relaxed. When your energy is contracted, you feel stressed and more tense. You can also use that too when um, sometimes there's people that you're around that they like to take energy. And I learned this in a course that I took. You can actually push their energy off by expanding your energy bigger. So instead of shrinking in fear, you can actually push your aura and it will kind of bump them away. I learned that. So,
You know what? That is going to help me tremendously. I don't know if it's appropriate to share an experience with my work. I can leave it, but that
yeah,
will
I
help.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. I think we will leave it because
Yeah.
we want to get through the rest of this and then, yeah, but that's
Thank
great.
you.
I'm glad you asked about that.
After already.
Anyone else has questions?
Hi, Annette. This is Jerry.
Hi, Jerry.
When you say anchoring from your fingers and your feet, do you mean you shoot the energy down from your hand down your legs through
Yeah.
your feet to the center of the earth?
Yeah, yes. Well, you want to anchor the high frequency, so the love, the joy, and the higher frequency, and you can also breathe in your higher self energy too, and you want to anchor that into your body and your hands and feet. So you're just gonna plant it there
Okay,
into your cells, and then you can push it out your
down.
feet and down into the earth once you're done that. But it's like you're anchoring these high frequencies in your body, and it will change the frequency that you run on.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that was a good question. Anybody else has questions?
Yeah, Annette, it's Leslie.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi. I'd like to hear more about how you get the information. Like you've talked about symbols and colors. Like, do you have a system for that, or like where do the symbols and colors come from?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I'm guessing that it's going to be probably different for everyone. I don't think it's going to be the same. But what happens is I run the frequency from the heart, and sometimes it takes a while, a few minutes before I get a full connection. But once I get a full connection, then it just comes in different ways. It comes through the different senses. It's just sort of a feeling, knowing, sensing, seeing. It comes to me in all different ways. Sometimes I just know what the problem is. It just flashes into my mind as a knowing. Sometimes it's words that flash in that I either sense or kind of even see in my mind. It just comes in so many different ways. And that's kind of what I was saying before, because everyone is so unique, and some people are more audio, some people are very visual. I think everyone's going to receive it in their own way. There's no real way or tool that I can say to really do it. It's just the frequency that will connect you to that information. It's a frequency itself is what's connecting you to that information. And for some people, maybe they can get it right away. Others might have to practice a while. Everyone's going to be different. So,
Right. So you get, like you've told me, you get a symbol like when something's finished. You get shown. So that's something that's just developed within.
that's just the way I receive it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean that's going to be the way you get it. You're going to probably get it the way you receive it, in the way that makes sense to you. Your higher self will work with you, and your guides and angels will work with you to help you to work with that energy.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Okay.
Hi, Annette. Can I quickly ask you one question? It's Gurjeet here. So
Yeah.
when you said connect down to the 5D Earth, now we know that we are in the third dimension, right? So what is this 5D Earth?
Yeah, it's a different it's a different frequency actually. It's just a different frequency and for the most part we're not really anymore on the 3D Earth. We're actually already in a much higher frequency. The whole planet's been shifting higher. So it's just the intention to shift to a higher frequency than the 3D. That's all. It's just intent. So I wouldn't
Okay,
get
got it.
too, yeah, I wouldn't get too worried about how to do that. It's just your intention.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just looking at my notes to see if there's anything else that I need to add in
One other,
here.
one other little question, Annette.
Yeah.
When you start, like you say, I go into intention, and you get into a relaxed state, and then you wait for a full connection. So can you say a bit more about that? Like, what's happening in the waiting? Like, what do you notice?
Well, you're not really waiting. The healing's already starting. It's already happening. So you're not really waiting. As soon as you send that frequency, it's already working. I'm not waiting. I'm just sending the frequency, and it sort of gets stronger. My connection gets stronger, and then that's when I get linked up. That's when I'm able to start to get messages, sense things, see things, feel things, hear things, and know what's going on.
Oh, okay. So the energy's running, and okay, I get it
Yeah, that was a really good question. Yeah, it's running the whole time, so I'm not really waiting exactly, but I'm just getting a stronger connection.
Okay. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
confusing for me because when I do energy healing, it's like it's right away. So, yeah. Okay. Cool. That makes sense. So you don't get the information right away, but the energy's flowing, and then
Sometimes I get it faster, sometimes it's slower. It just depends.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all about the frequency, and it just to get a really good connection. Sometimes it takes longer. So, okay.
So, Annette, it's Linda. I do have a question
Yeah.
that I'm not sure of. So when you say the energy starts flowing, so I could feel it as you're going in, it's flowing, and then it kind of stopped at where like my heart was, and then when I felt that, like you said, like a hit. So that was almost like what I didn't know how to explain it, but it's like a hit that just kind of went through to the back of my body, and it went across like my shoulder blades. So is that a place where I had a blockage, and then when the energy kind of stopped there and then it popped through, that's when it started to flow? And is that
Yeah.
correct?
It sounds like you had a block there. Yeah. Yeah, it was clearing it out.
Okay. So that's what you feel when it kind of stopped, then it popped, and then it was flowing again after that.
Well, you're talking about the activation, but we were talking about just running the frequency to do healing. So they're kind of two different things.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you're talking about the activation. So you were specifically receiving that to get you activated and unblock things to get you connected.
Okay. So once that opens, then when it started to flow, that's when I was fully connected.
I would imagine, yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah. Like the
That makes-
frequency is doing all of that. I'm not doing it. So that's definitely what it sounded like. Anywhere there's pain or something, there was a blockage, so it's cleared it, and then it's getting things flowing.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Anybody else has questions?
Yeah, sorry, Annette, it's me again, Gurjeet. When you're sending energy to somebody remotely, then is it like the same way, like you imagine the person, or use it on a picture or on a surrogate, like the same technique?
Yeah, you can use it definitely remotely. That's the only way I do it usually. You just send it to the person. You don't even have to have them on the phone if you don't want to. I like to have them on the phone to get the feedback and hear what's happening, and also to give them information about information they need. So, but if you just want to do a healing for somebody, you can do that too without even being on the phone.
So it's the intention that matters.
It's the intention, and it's the focus and the concentration. When you're sending the frequency, it can take a really high level of focus and concentration to hold that frequency. Um, you'll find that you probably can't run it for very long, especially at the beginning, and you probably shouldn't because it can make you dizzy, I find.
Mm-hmm.
So just start off really slow and just practice on yourself, I would say first for quite a
Mm-hmm.
while, and then you can run it on people, but it can do that, I have found. It's just that kind of an energy, I find that yeah, it takes a high level of focus. So
Mm-hmm. I get it. Thank you.
yeah. So okay, I think I talked about all of this, and I talked about that. Okay, so one of the last things we'll do then is right now, what we'll do is a practice of you can send energy from your heart into your body, pick a place that maybe has pain or some area of your body that needs help. Maybe you want to practice doing your own blood. You can clear out yeast, you can clear out bacteria, toxins, parasites, viruses. Maybe you want to do your back or whatever you want to do. Just we're going to practice now as a group on yourself. And I'm just going to mute the line, I guess, here. Okay. So you can just practice on yourself, send it into yourself somewhere that you want, and just see how that feels. And then we'll do a little bit of sharing. So you don't really have to do so much. And the connection above and below, I just like to do that because it helps me, with the session when I'm working on people. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. I like doing it before a session because it helps me prepare, but you don't have to do that every time, um, unless you want to. And you don't have to do it necessarily when you're working on yourself. You wouldn't have to really do that. So anyway, just go right into your heart and tend to, let's say, turn it on or activate it. And start sending energy from your heart into your body, wherever you want. Or if you don't know where you want to send it, you can also tell the frequency to go to the root cause of whatever is the main priority at this time. And then just get a sense of how that feels. If you feel like it's not doing much in one area, maybe you want to try another area. Just experiment with it. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to unmute the line, and we'll just do a little bit of sharing. Just see, how was that for you? What did it feel like? What did you notice?
Hi, Annette. It's Gurjeet. Can I go first?
Yes, do.
When I started sending energy from my heart, of course, it was my focus, and I wasn't sure whether to include it with my breathing, like breathe in the energy and then send it to my heart. But I kept doing it regardless, and there was a lot of pain in my knee, and I yawned quite a bit, and then now I feel the pain is very little.
Wow.
Hmm.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So did I need to focus on the breathing or just the intention and the focus on sending it?
So, the heart frequency one stands alone. You can just do that. Do you mean the breathing, the one where you breathe out your hands that I was talking at the beginning?
Yes, the breathing in and out. Like, did I need to use that or that's not required here?
So, that's a really good question. So, the heart frequency one stands alone. You don't have to do anything else with it. It works completely by itself, but you can combine it with breathing earth energy from the earth up through your feet, up through your body, to the top of your head, out your arms and out your hands. You can do them together if you want to. It just will just add extra healing, but the heart frequency is really, really powerful. That's all you need to do.
Yeah. That's very helpful because now we know how to, increase the energy with two methods.
Yeah, yeah. The breathing one is amazing, and the good thing about the breathing one is that it will increase your energy level. It'll give you more energy. It just charges you up. The breathing one. It's amazing.
Thank you.
So that's
Can
great.
I go next, Jerry?
Yeah.
When I send healing energy from my heart to my knees, it started tingling. I don't feel pain unless I'm climbing up or down the stairs. But I don't feel any pain. But I wanted to heal it because I have difficulty going up and downstairs, and my hands started tingling at the same time. I don't know why. Just like when I do Reiki, it tingles, and it started tingling, although I wasn't near my knee at all. And usually when I do energy work, I yawn a lot. But it's strange that throughout your energy work, I haven't yawned a single yawn.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Oh, well, there's no right or wrong.
No, but I
Sometimes
typically yawn all the time.
sometimes I yawn a lot and sometimes I don't. It just depends.
Okay.
Yeah. Great. Thanks for sharing
Great.
that. Anybody else?
Hi, my name is Ricky. I've been getting quite a lot of energy going, and when I did this last part, and I said just to go where it needed to go, I had this flash like in my lower abdomen, and the heat is still there, and I can just feel it pulsating. Like it's like a round ball with lightning striking in it. It's really pretty powerful, and I'm getting really warm.
Nice.
But
Wow.
I've been having a lot of heat in my body this whole time. In my my glands under my chin, I've had an earache, and I've been feeling it in my ear and my glands and my thyroid, kind of. And my hands were really hot during the first part. Is it the attunement, or is that what it was?
The activation.
The activation, because I have my Reiki masters, and I haven't used it for a long time. But whenever I do any Reiki or anything, I always feel the heat in my hands. But my hands were been hot the whole time.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, and you can use everything together, of course. I mean, you could use the Reiki, you can use the breathing
You,
one from the earth and the heart frequency. You could use all three of them at the same time if you wanted to.
yeah. I mean, this feels really easy, you know.
Yeah,
I like it.
it is really easy, and it's really effective because I'm a Reiki
Yeah.
master too, but this is
Mhm.
more, it's healing very specific problems, like specifically taking away pain and healing, getting rid of viruses and healing really specific things. And that's all you're doing is just sending energy from the heart.
Yeah, it's just really warm. I'm just getting really hot all through me now. Like, and
Yeah,
actually, as I'm talking to you, I'm getting it more in my chest area, my heart, and my it was just below lower before, and then my glands, but now it's moved into my chest area. So it's really warm.
yeah, the energy is still flowing from my heart to the whole group. The whole group is
Yeah.
still getting healing. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been feeling it this whole time. It's never stopped. It's really
No,
cool.
it has been on probably the whole time. Yeah.
Thank
Wow,
you.
that's great. Anybody
Thank you.
else?
Hi, Starlene.
Hi.
I set the frequency to my jaw, and then because I always clench my jaw, and then I said to the root cause, and then I started feeling emotions coming up. So that was pretty cool.
Wow,
Mhm.
that's fantastic.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Okay.
came
Work
to
on
me.
one.
That came to me. I was working with clients for quite a while, and then that came to me to start sending it to the root cause. And because the body always knows exactly, it has its own intelligence, it knows what to heal and in what order to heal it. And sometimes people will tell me, oh, I have a problem here or a pain here. I want you to fix that. But then the body wants it to do something else first, or it will do something, go somewhere else.
Mhm.
So that's awesome because if you can get the emotions out, then the body will start to heal itself.
Mhm.
You
Thank
can
you.
you can run it to the root cause of an illness too. So, anybody else? Okay. Wow. This was a really powerful call. Really, really great. So, let me see. I think we got through all of it. Just a note that honoring people's journey and their choices and their pain. Some people don't want to heal or they're not ready to heal or whatever it is, and we just have to honor that, and that all healing is really self-healing. The frequency is just supporting the body to heal itself is what it's doing. Okay, you can scan the body with the frequency, like just by running the frequency into the body to scan for to find where there's a problem. You'll just get a hit and find, oh, there's a blockage here in the spine. You'll just be aware of it on some level, in some way. It will feel heavy or stuck, or you'll sense or know it in whatever way that there's a problem there, in whatever way that comes to you. So you can also use it to do that with it. Okay. I think that might actually be it. I think we got through all of it. We did go over time, but um, that's okay too. I don't mind going longer to answer everybody's questions. And I'm having another call like this one on May 26th at 4 o'clock Pacific. And it will be, I'm also going to teach how to do self-muscle testing on that call, because it's a really good tool to have when you learn how to do it properly. You can talk to the higher self with it, you can talk to the body with it. I use it all the time when I do sessions with the heart frequency for people, just to find out answers to questions about supplements or problems with the body or whatever it is. So even if you've done muscle testing before and it hasn't worked, if you learn it the right way, it will work properly for you. I've been using it for a long, long time. It helps me constantly. So that's on May 26th. You can register for that call the same way you did for this call. It's the same cost, same time, and I'll probably be doing monthly calls. And then if you're in Vancouver, I've got an event in New Westminster on April 21st at Harmony Gold in a store there. I'm going to have a live gathering doing group healing, and another one on May 5th in Ocean Park. So again, having a live event with a group of people and doing group healing and talking about frequency and all of this. So it's just really important to get people together or on the phone or live and keep gathering and keep talking about these things and keep helping each other, because there's so much happening on the planet right now. There's so much shifting, and it can cause symptoms in the body as we're shifting to these higher levels. It can cause flu-like symptoms. It can cause extreme fatigue. We're getting hit with these waves of frequency as the planet's being hit with higher frequency. Our bodies get affected by that as we are raising in frequency, and it can be hard on the body and it can cause symptoms. So you can run the frequency to help keep yourself balanced, to help heal yourself. Some of these things, are physical, and some of them, well, they're all physical. They manifest physically, but some of them are triggered because of the shift that we're going through. I just wanted to quickly talk about that there is something huge happening on the planet. A lot of you probably are aware of that. Some of you might not be. It's known as the ascension, or shifting to a higher level. And it's basically shifting frequency to a higher frequency. So I won't go into that. It's a big topic. It could be a topic all on its own. But just to know that if you're struggling physically, sometimes that could also be that it causes dreams to get way more vivid than usual, sometimes dizziness, heart palpitations, nausea, headaches, head pressure, symptoms like that. They can be because of this shifting that we're going through. So an extreme fatigue can be one of them. So if you're somebody that's not usually tired and you just feel really, really tired, it could be that. So just make sure you take good care, get more sleep, drink a lot of water, and use the healing for yourself. So, all right. Well, this has been really fantastic, and I'm excited about the next call on the 26th to do more practice and teach about the self-muscle testing. So I'll just open up the lines and see if there's any last questions before we close.
Hi, it's Linda. I just want to say thank you, Annette, for sharing your gifts and teaching us more about healing. I thought this was an excellent call. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Linda. That's so nice. I
Hi,
appreciate it.
Annette, this is Gurjeet, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. This was so good, and so needed. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Gurjeet.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And
This is Marilyn.
This is my first sort of, maybe second time of doing something like this, and I just thought it was so clear and so well explained, and easy to comprehend and easy to follow. And I just thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. That's nice.
Jerry, thank you very much, Annette, for sharing your talents and skills. It was very good, wonderful.
Oh, thank you so much.
Annette,
Uh-huh.
this is Marilyn. How do you then, turning on and off this, ending the session?
Oh, when you're doing the heart frequency, yeah, that's That is a really interesting question that I've been kind of trying to figure out. It is intention. It is intention. So you just kind of, just the same way that you sort of intended to activate the heart or turn it on, you just sort of intend that, kind of close off your energy and intend to stop. And then that the energy
Mhm.
just keeps kind of healing in them for quite a while afterwards, but you just intend to stop.
It's just like a switch.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Annette, this was beautiful. It was very thorough and clear. So yeah, I'm very happy I did this. Just wanted to clarify. So you're calling it healing with the heart frequency.
Heart frequency healing is what I call it.
Heart frequency healing. Okay. And so now we're activated into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wonderful.
Yay.
I'm
That's
going to start sleeping.
so fantastic to see how quickly you can get results and people's pain going away already on the call. It's so exciting, and there's just so much that you can do with this. So yeah. Okay, anybody else?
They're better to eat fresh.
Okay. I think that's it then, and I just muted the call because of the background noise. So I'm really glad that you could be on the call. It's wonderful, and I do want to keep bringing this out there to people. So whether it's live or by conference call, in whatever way, you can invite other people to these calls, and they'll be monthly. So the next one is on May 26th at 4 o'clock Pacific. So you can register by email again. And I'm so glad that we could do this. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm just so happy that I can share it with people and that it can help you in your life. So have a great rest of your day, and I hope to talk to you soon. And if you want to get a hold of me, you can email me or text me. Okay, have a great night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.